I have been fortunate that one of my activities, or could I even call it hobbies, has been giving presentations on climate change. And I have been invited into several First Nations communities to give presentations. And then there's always, to me, the most valuable part afterwards is sitting and talking with everybody afterwards. And so I've learned some of their issues and some of their views and some of their feelings. That has helped me feel comfortable. But to be honest, I'm not quite sure with the question exactly what the word cultural safety means, but I certainly feel more comfortable with an understanding of their culture at this time.
So for me, it's been an advocate for self-governance for the Indigenous peoples. I believe that nobody should have an overarching power over them. They should be able to self-govern and do what they feel is best for their communities.
When the NDP government allowed militarized police to walk through and invade unceded Wet'suwet'en land, that is when I became politically active. I am participating in a settler government, one that dramatically doesn't appreciate the existing continual ravages of colonialism. The only way forward is to stand unflinchingly in favor of Indigenous sovereignty and for the political structures that we have right now to actively decolonize. And I will do whatever I can as an ally to listen, because it is not my position to make decisions. It is just my position to advocate for the change of those who fundamentally are in charge of their land, their title claims, and their culture.
You know, one of the most memorable experience that I have of the last 7.5 years in public office is the relationship that I've developed with the Stalo people. I have been invited to their events. I've been invited to speak at their events, and they always tell me that they're not used to having their provincial representative attending these events and sharing the ceremonies with them. So it's been a very much a learning experience for me, and I can tell you at some of these events with Stalo, with the chiefs and the elders and the community, have been so emotional, such a deep learning experience. Just tugs at one's heartstrings. The Stalo people contribute so much to this community, and I'm proud to have fostered a close working relationship with them.
So First Nations and Indigenous people are a very important issue for me. I had the great privilege of working for many years with Seabird Island Band as their Director of Education, and I learned a lot. The first thing I learned is that First Nations and Indigenous people want the same thing we want. And it begins from the place of respect first. The second is to understand the importance of culture and language in how it is we approach issues. And the third, most important thing, is to work with people. So whether that's in treaty negotiations, which in fact is a provincial responsibility in part, whether it involves working with Hochmeath on child welfare issues, advancing something in Chilliwack that I want to see, which is the Friendship Center, and other such initiatives. What I want to do is roll up my sleeves in cooperation with all Indigenous and First Nations peoples here in Chilliwack to get things done.
I can't agree with you more that humility is really needed on this issue. Myself, because I wanted to learn about the place where I lived and the people that were here, I went to university and I took a history of residential schools, Stalo history, I took Helkamalum, and I also took a course in land maps and land claims. And I think it has really taught me it's taught me what I don't know and how much more I have to learn. And I think that's why you need humility, and that's why you really need to have an open mind. You have to learn about these things.